Hello my friends and welcome to the video. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are not subscribed, I would love it if you go down and hit the subscribe button. Join me here for hockey talk, playoff talk, fun stuff like jersey concepts, just having a blast here, talking hockey with some hockey fans like yourself. Let's dive into this series. I'm excited for this one, and I'm not at the same time because I have not really concerns, just I feel like there's a lack of I'm just not really emotionally invested in this series, and I think I probably should be because there's some pretty good storylines here. But for whatever reason, I'm just not really that excited about this one. So maybe I need some enthusiasm from you guys in the comment section. Why should I be excited about this series? But regardless, I'm going to watch it, obviously, and I've broken it down into some categories here. My formula, that's not really a formula, it's pretty crap, but we're going to go through it. I've got 15 different topics here. We're going to break it down topic by topic, pick a winner, and then add it up to see who my formula picks as the winner. Then I'm going to release my prediction, which is sometimes not the same as the formula, and then I'm going to release my want of who I want to win the series. So let's get into it. Here are the 15 categories: season, power play, penalty kill, offense, defense, up the middle, wingers, defensemen, goaltending, pressure, experience, leadership, coaching, chemistry, and history between the two teams. So let's go back to the first one. Season. Who had the better season? Actually, it was pretty even across the board. This one's a split. Power play. Vancouver has the better power play. Penalty kill. Vancouver also has the better special teams there. Offense. I gave this to Vancouver. I think Minnesota's a better depth team, and Vancouver is a little bit more front-loaded, so I gave the Canucks the win there. Defense. I think both teams struggle defensively in at times in specific scenarios, but I don't think one is worse than the other, so I gave it a split. Maybe a little bit of a cop-out there. Up the middle, I gave that a split as well. I would say just average on both teams. Wingers, I gave this to Vancouver. I think they have the more skilled and offensively dangerous wingers. Defensemen, I gave this a split. Goaltending, I gave this a split as well. I think Markstrom is probably the most impressive. Nah, I don't say that. He's definitely not the most impressive team on Vancouver, but he has the ability to stand out. I don't think people think of Markstrom as a superstar, but maybe they should consider thinking that way because he has played very well for the team lately. But on the other side, in Minnesota, you've got Dubnyk, who, man, I think back 5 years-ish, I would have considered Dubnyk maybe top 3 in the league. Now, maybe top 15. So I think there's potential there, but I don't know what we're going to get with him. So that brings us to goaltending split. Pressure. I gave this to the Canucks, which means I think there's more pressure on the Minnesota team. The Canucks are going through a bit of a rebuild. They're drafting well. They've got a lot of young players. They're kind of moving up the rankings, surprising some people. So I think Vancouver fans are extremely happy with the progression of the team and want to see them see what they can offer this year. So they're pretty excited for it. They're not really worried, I don't think. Whereas Minnesota, I think back, I think it was 3 years ago when they were on the brink of the playoffs, or maybe just fighting for top place. I can't remember exactly, but they made a trade for Martin Hanzal, I believe, and they gave up a first-round pick. And I thought that was just such a silly trade at the time. I didn't think there was worth there for a first round. And I think maybe they could even give a second as well. But regardless, from then on, I've felt disappointed by Minnesota. They've gotten in a couple times and not really done anything. So I think fans are pretty frustrated. I think they expect more from the team. They definitely want more. And it's time. It's time for them to have a little bit of success and see their team go deep. I don't know if they're going to do it. We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. But I think there's more pressure on Minnesota to succeed versus Vancouver. So Vancouver gets that point. Experience. I gave this a split. Minnesota has more playoff experience, but I don't think that. I don't know. I don't know if their experience is more valuable because they haven't really done a lot in the playoffs. I don't mean that to be offensive to Wild fans, but Vancouver does have, even though they haven't really been at any dances recently, they do have some veteran guys on the team who are helping the younger guys come up. So there's positives on both sides as far as experience. So I give that a split. Leadership, I do believe there's better leadership in Minnesota, so I gave them that one. I believe that's their first point so far. Coaching, I gave this to Vancouver. Big fan of Green. Chemistry, I gave this to Vancouver as well. There is some scary chemistry in Vancouver right now. They're such a fun team to watch. History, this is a split. These teams actually match up quite well with each other, or not quite well, but quite evenly against each other throughout their histories. So that's a split, which means we've got a lot of splits here. We've got 7 Vancouver, 1 Minnesota, and 7 splits. So the formula says Vancouver should probably win this series unless those splits all go the other way, which makes it 8-7 Minnesota, but that's probably unlikely. And obviously some of these are subjective as well, so this doesn't really mean anything. So the formula predicts Vancouver. I think that Vancouver, my mind says Vancouver is going to win this series. I think they have the better team. I think they have the better offensive team. I think they have the better potential to go deeper in the playoffs. And they don't really have anything to lose. There's not really, like I said, there's not really much pressure on their shoulders. So I believe that Vancouver will win this series, but I don't know why. Kind of like the Chicago-Edmonton series with Chicago, I've got a feeling in the old ticker about Minnesota. I don't know why. I don't really know when it started, a couple of months ago, I guess. But I feel like Minnesota is going to surprise a lot of people. And I don't know if I feel that way just because I want it so bad for the team. Like I really do want to see them succeed. I love Mikko Koivu. I wanted to see him succeed. He's going to be done playing hockey in the next couple of years, or maybe even sooner. Who knows? He's not a young pup anymore. So my heart has a gut feeling about Minnesota. I think I said a couple of weeks ago that they might go all the way. Just they're that kind of dark horse surprise team that's going to go out and just shock everyone. I don't, logically, I don't think that's going to happen. But I got a feeling about Chicago, and I got a feeling about Minnesota in the West. So even though my mind says predict Vancouver, my heart says predict Minnesota. Or my gut, I guess. My gut chooses Minnesota. So I'm actually going to emotionally predict Minnesota, which I know is the wrong decision, but I got a feeling, and I got to go with the feeling. So I'm going to predict Minnesota in 5. We're going all the way. Now my want, like I said, I do want to see Minnesota succeed. I want to see Mikko Koivu succeed, but my want is Vancouver. So I'm kind of conflicted in a way because I want to see both teams succeed. I've got the better feeling about Minnesota, but I want to see Vancouver go further. They're a Canadian team, and I like a lot of players on the Canucks lineup. So very conflicting opinions in going around in my heart, my head, and my gut. Contradictory opinions, I guess you could say, which is probably frustrating for you guys because if you're watching this video, chances are you want my opinion, which feels good, I guess. But unfortunately, I can't really give you a straightforward opinion. I'm all over the place in this one, so that's why I kind of need your guidance down below in the comment section. What should I look out for in this series? What's your prediction? Tell me your thoughts on this series, and yeah, get me excited for it because right now I am in a way, but not overly. There's just so many other series that I'm going to watch. So I think this series will be very underrated. If we look back on it months from now, a year from now, it's going to be a very underrated series to watch just from a hockey fan's perspective. And I don't think I'm going to watch a lot of this series, and I think I will end up regretting that. I don't know why I feel like that, but I do. Anyways, thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it. I would love it if you could hit the subscribe button down below if you're not subscribed already. Smash that like button as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Get ready for hockey, guys. Adios.